Hello everyone, welcome to the new series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu and today we are going to discuss an important topic of economy. The title of today's topic is Why Laptops Are Banned in India, and this topic is important from GS3 perspective. So before moving to the points of discussion, first of all, we will know that how India was associated with the world economy, because we all know that, and since 1947 to 1990, India was a believer of that local production and local consumption. But what happened in 1990? There was a currency crisis in India, and India has to seek help from the IMF. IMF has provided help on one condition, that India has to open its gates for other world economy and other nations should invest in India and India should also invest in other nations. So this is the brief history of India's association with the world economy. Moving to the points of discussion part. First of all, we will discuss the news, that why this topic is in news, and about the notification, that what are the ingredients of this notification, and then reasons for the restrictions, and government justification, that what are the government stance on these kind of things and these kind of issues, and practice question for prelims and mains. Moving to the news part. So we all know that on 3rd of August, Government of India has announced that all the laptops, personal computers, palm terms, or any kind of machines associated with such things are restricted and their import is highly restricted with immediate effect. But so many industry experts and industries has said that you cannot do with this immediate effect. So yesterday India has extended its time period to 3 months, and within 3 months you cannot import personal computers, laptops from other countries. So this decision has been taken by the government of India. However, there are certain exceptions related to this, that you can carry one laptop or one personal computer under baggage rules. So under baggage rules, what we know that you can carry one laptop or one personal computer and certain amount of money. For Indian it's nearly 50,000 and for others it's 15,000. So this is the baggage rules 2021, and under baggage rule 2021 you can carry just one laptop. Moving to the next slide. So next slide is about the notification. So what are the ingredients of this notification? So we all know that there is a category and there are 7 kinds of categories, and under 7th categories there is a code called HSN 8741, and under this category all the items are restricted and you cannot import. But there are exceptions, that if valid license is required for such kind of necessity or circumstances, so there should be valid license, and if you have valid license for certain products you can import that thing. But while importing you have to pay the application duty and you have to pay the duty of the import. So these are the exception we have. And the second thing is, you can also import the laptops and computers under capital goods. And what is the capital goods? So capital goods are the physical assets of a company which is used for the production of goods and services for the consumers. So this is the notification. And what are the other ingredients of the notification? You can also import the laptops or computer or any gadgets under R&D rule. And what this R&D rule says, that for the research and development purposes you can import such kind of machines if it is not available in India. And the second thing is that if your work is done, if your purpose is done, then you can export that thing to the country of the origin, and you can also destroy that thing, but it should not be available in the physical mode in the India. And what is the third criteria? We have that while repairing, because many times we have seen that few products we send to the foreign countries and then we import, and while repairing there should be not licensing charge. So these are the exception provided by the government of India under this notification. Moving to the next slide. So next slide is about the reasons for restrictions. So what are the reasons for restrictions? So first, restrictions could be seen as the production linked incentives. So this scheme was launched in 2020, and under this scheme 4 to 6% of incentive was given to the electronic companies as an incentive, and currently in the second phase it is 3 to 5% is given to the electronic companies. And this scheme is also aimed to promote domestic products, and it also aimed to attract foreign investor to invest in the domestic market and domestic products. And the second reason we have already discussed, that in order to promote the domestic culture, the domestic products and domestic manufacturing, India has taken such decision. Moving to the next slide. So we have seen that, India has doubled its expenditure on PLI scheme, and it has become 17,000 crore. So India is putting so much effort and attention on such scheme. And second thing, in the near past, we have seen that, the number has increased and people started importing laptops, computers from other countries. And we can understand this thing through data that from $4.73 billion to $6.96 billion. So in 1 year, this number has been increased from this to this. So this is very huge number. Moving to the next slide. So what next slide says that all these initiatives will affect the China's trade policy, because China has this dumping kind of policy, and it always dump the products in your market at a cheaper prices, and due to its cheaper prices, so many consumers are attracted to that product also. So here is the state of China in the past 5-6 years, how much we have traded and imported with the China. So overall category belongs to the dark green color, and the light green color belongs to the China. So here we can see that, China alone has a huge stakeholder in the Indian market, and we can see that, these all numbers are near to equal, and in this number all the countries are associated, and this is only for the China. So but we have also seen that, from 21 to 22, India has reduced its trade with the China, and we can see that very less Chinese products are in the market. So this will definitely impact the China, because India is a huge market for the China. Moving to the next slide. So next slide is about justification by the government. So what are the justification given by the government of India, that why it has put so many restriction on the import of laptops and computer? So the first thing, we already know that for the promotion of PLI scheme, and the second thing, we all know that for the promotion of bilateral trade, because many of the countries are saying that, India is believing in trade protectionism, and it is trying to protect their domestic market and domestic manufacturing. But government of India says that, they are not believing in any kind of trade protectionism, and before COVID era also they had taken such kind of decisions. So it is not an initiative of trade protectionism. In order to promote their own manufacturing good, they are not harming the other goods. So this is the justification given by the government of India. Moving to the next slide. So next slide is about practice question for prelims. Consider the following statement regarding production linked incentive. And the first statement is, it is an initiative of Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. So such kind of statements are very common for the UPSC exam. The second is, under it, electronic companies will be given 20% of incentives. We have already discussed that how much incentive government of India is providing to electronic companies. So you have to check the number here. And the third statement is, its main aim is to attract foreign investor in India. And here they are asking the not correct statement, and your options are only one, only two, all three, and none. Moving to the mains part. So the mains question says that the trade protectionism measures in India is at the rise and could potentially hamper the international trade, limiting the trade gains. So first of all, you have to find the keywords here. And what is the keyword? So trade protectionism. So you have to define this term, trade protectionism. And what this trade protectionism, that, in order to promote their own manufacturing setup or domestic manufacturing, domestic product, the country, any country, not just India, try to put restriction on the foreign goods. So this is called a trade protectionism. The second, they are asking about that how trade protectionism is hampering India's growth. So first of all, you should know that what are the factors associated with the trade protectionism. So the first thing is that vocal for local. Then Atmanirbhar. Then we have tariff barriers. So these are the factors which are associated with the trade protectionism. The second thing that, you have to divide your answer into two parts. First, you have to write that, whatever India is taking the decision, it is not an initiative of the trade protectionism. If some country is protecting their own market, doesn't mean that they are hampering others' market. So this is not a trade protectionism. And the government of India also said that, we are not believing in any kind of trade protectionism, and we are not against any country. The second thing, you can also write against this thing, that if India will be in the closed and confined space, then other countries will not be interested in Indian market. So in this global world, interaction is very necessary, and free trade kind of agreement is very necessary. And bilateral trades are definitely important, but multilateral trades are also important, so that India will also have opportunity to invest in other market as well. So this could be your balanced thing, and in such manner you have to write your conclusion that trade protectionism is better for the domestic welfare and for the domestic product, but it is for the longer run, it is very harmful for the country. So this kind of conclusion you can provide in your answer. I hope you like this lecture. If you have any queries related to this lecture, kindly ask in the comment section. Thank you.